Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. I'd like you to hit the subscribe bar, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next post. Or otherwise you could donate to my ministry and the charities that I support at garethcahoon3@gmail.com on PayPal. Or if you want to see the videos that are taken off YouTube because of them being banned, you can see them on YouTube at Gareth Cahoon Speaks. Look me up and subscribe to YouTube for the videos that don't get to play on TikTok, but they do on YouTube because YouTube is a freer service. The radicalized UK that Starmer is defending. The term suicidal empathy, coined by Canadian professor Gad Saad, also the title of his latest book, refers to an extreme and misguided form of compassion, prioritising the feelings and needs of others to the extent that it becomes self-destructive, weakening their own survival, safety or values. No definition hits the bullseye more than when it comes to the misguided sentiments expressed by British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, quoted as saying, "I do not want Britain to be a place where British Muslims are not able to be their whole selves, where they feel they must hide or tone down who they are for fear of being attached to views that are not their own." What Starmer fails to acknowledge is that while there may be peaceful Muslims living in the UK who respect British law and the right of their fellow citizens to practice the religion of their choosing, there also is a significant number of Muslim extremists whose goal is to forcibly take over the UK, along with all Western society, causing anyone to be subservient to Islam. One clip portrays a Muslim cleric openly calling for all faiths to be replaced by Islam. Muslims living in Western secular democracies, we're talking about Europe, Canada, America, Australia, just the Western democracies, that's it. What is our goal as a community? What is the final result that we're aiming for when we're living here? Our goal living amongst all of you is to wipe away your religion and replace it with Islam. Would this come as news to Keir Starmer, or does he know of these insidious plans of forcibly attempting to strip religious freedom and personal faith choices of UK citizens, choosing to ignore it since Muslims are his most ardent constituency? It's hard to believe that the blatant threat would come as a revelation to Starmer, because these extreme views are not an anomaly. The fact that massive protests have been taking place throughout the UK ever since October 7th, where signs of "from the river to the sea" have appeared everywhere and "death to Jews" has been chanted, is evidence enough that anti-Semitism has risen dramatically, as well as growing contempt for the culture and freedoms of all who live there but do not share the faith of Islam. In this clip of Sahar TV, a report is broadcast in a specific area of the UK where Sharia patrols have been set up to search out behaviour that is deemed to be un-Islamic. British men drinking beer in a park are advised to stay away from alcohol, and a completely legal act under UK law. A British woman wearing a short skirt is scolded. Speaking to a female reporter, one of these extremist Muslim men boldly declares that he wants to see every woman covered from head to toe. He wants to see adulterers stoned to death and hands of thieves cut off. In short, he wants all of Europe and America to operate under Sharia law. Wasting her time trying to reason with this fanatical extremist, the female reporter says, The only thing I would say is that in America and in the UK, they are based on a democratic system that allows people to choose what they want and allows people freedom. The Muslim responds by saying, "So why can't I choose Sharia law?" She tells him that in his home he can do whatever he wants, but that's not good enough for him. He wants to tell all women to cover up. The reporter, explaining that such a request would be outrageous, is then reprimanded by his convoluted thinking as he shouts, "So where is my freedom?" Of course, she needed to say, "Where is my freedom?" Telling a non Muslim woman how she must dress is a complete infringement of personal freedoms and choices. But this Muslim extremist not worried, as he fortuitously has the sympathies of his Prime Minister, who has placed him in the victim category. This is the reality of a radicalized UK that Starmer is defending. Whether he knows it or not, if he's unaware of these aspirations expressed by extremist Islamic citizens of his country, then he is woefully unfit to adequately preserve and defend the freedoms of his countrymen. If he is truly aware of these goals, then he is a traitor to his own people, who did not elect him to have their liberties stripped away by Muslim migrants who have decided that their highest objectives is to import their brand of religious and ideological servitude, which is neither British in spirit nor in accordance with its laws. This is where suicidal empathy comes in. Keir Starmer has made a conscious decision to side with the would-be conquerors of our time, making no secret of why they invade Western societies. They are empowered by leaders who, for the moment, believing that if they placate their foreign supporters, they will be able to curb their demands if they go too far. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. The old saying, "Give an inch, take a mile," is more than a rule, when appeasing individuals who do not hesitate to employ violence in order to achieve their goals. In this case, Starmer has enabled the extremist Muslims in his kingdom to realise their goals much sooner than we think. By implementing laws which are called hate speech, anyone can be arrested and imprisoned just by stating the obvious, that extremist Muslims pose a huge danger to Western society. By silencing the British public for fear of their having to face serious consequences, there is an unspoken deal where one hand washes the other. Muslims get to wield power as they take over entire neighbourhoods, forbidding entrance to anyone who refuses to comply with these rules. For this courtesy, Starmer gets to keep his coveted job. Unfortunately, UK citizens end up getting the shaft. While all of this may have been happening quietly, hoping that the strides being made by Muslim extremists were not being noticed, Prime Minister Keir Starmer has effectively sold out the people by making a bargain with the devil. Once it backfires on him as well, will he then realise that it wasn't worth it? Keir Starmer is another scumbag of the week for the way he spoke about the Unite the Kingdom rallies. Was absolutely disgusting. Go Tommy Robinson and get Starmer out. Two-tier Keir has to go before he brings the Islamic State to the United Kingdom. Shalom. Maranatha, and Hallelujah.